Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts.
England! England!
Looking back through the years, we can't hold back the tears and the fears. We gotta be what we can be, 'cause we can write a new history, yeah. So we on Kane, Sterling, we believe we wear the Lions heart on our sleeves. So we are England through and through. Come on England, we love you.
Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
And now, here's your host.
right, Chris?
All right, good evening. How the devil is there? How the devil are you? Welcome along. It is Monday. It is 7 o'clock. It can only mean one thing. We've messed the schedules up again. We're doing the Women's World Cup at 9. No, we're not. We're doing the Women's Euros at 9. Yeah, this heat, I'm old and the heat gets to me. I'm not going to deny it. And we'll be back at 9 o'clock to cover Italy-Belgium tonight. But this is the World Cup in Qatar. And if it's as hot as this, my God, I feel sorry for the players. I really do. I said they should be fitter than me at 61 and 61, is that round my waist or is that my age? Probably both, to be honest with you. This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Please do one thing. Please support the companies that support us.
Leicester lead again. The goals are flowing here now.
The Leicester Till I Die shop is now open.
For all your Leicester Till I Die merchandise,
Visit the Leicester Till I Die shop at our website.
Indeed. All the details are in the description below on YouTube, including sort of any codes you might need for the discounts as well. And if you can do that while you're on the channel, please do subscribe, Leicester Till I Die TV. Thank you for lending me your eyes and watching me. And if you are listening to this on Catch Up on the podcast, thank you for lending me your ears. Well, he went away. He went away, ladies, and he's come back and he's no longer available. So just back away from the screen, sit down, don't slaver now, because it is spoken for. He's back, and we're just seeing so much of him. And we're going to say hello to Doug. Good evening, Doug. How are you?
Good evening, Chris. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm hot. I'm drinking so much, and I'm going to the toilet so much, because I'm of a certain age. I might as well just do I might as well do this show from the toilet and cut out the middleman. Just sit there, go in one end and come out the other. Because that's how I'm feeling at the moment. But
yeah, it's pretty warm. It's pretty warm.
It is just indeed. Like I said, I think we're all sympathising with all the international players come November, December. It is warm indeed. Welcome back. You should be used to this heat.
Thank you.
Been away in Rhodes, but just remind people, because obviously you're a regular contributor, so your details are in the YouTube description below, but just tell people where and how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at the Dugout Football channel. Sporadically getting back into things. There will be more content coming on the channel, so remember to hit that subscribe button and remember to hit that notifications bell, because as I keep saying every week, YouTube don't like notifications.
No, they don't. No. And smash the likes as well if you're on any of his shows, because that always helps with the algorithms, I believe.
Definitely.
I don't even know if that's the right word, to be honest with you, but it sounds good, so I'll stick with it. 124 days till the World Cup kicks off. It's getting close, isn't it?
It is getting close. It is getting very, very close. And it's not long until the Premier League season starts either.
That's 20 days away. I think it's 19 for a lot, 18 for Arsenal. It's 20 for Leicester, and we have yet to make a signing.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'm not worried or anything, but we lost our recruitment director or head of recruitment, whatever title he's got, to Atlanta. And in fairness, I think I'd sooner work in Atlanta than in Leicester. So give him his due. And then we went and got somebody from Southampton who isn't joining us until the window's shut, although they've already got their replacement in. I mean, by God, whoever was on the on the negotiating panel there, they saw you coming, buddy. I'll tell you. But it is the World Cup we are talking about, and you have been a very well fitted. Had somebody standing for you in the likes of Dan. He's done a wonderful job for a few weeks, but you're back in the hot seat, so you hopefully have done your homework. And we will go through Group G, which we are now at. Only this and next week to go. Yeah,
it's gone really, really quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. The key dates there, just to remind everybody, 6th of August, the Premier League starts, like I say, very close now. 12th to 13th, the final round of Premier League matches. The 21st of November, the World Cup starts. December the 2nd, the final set of group stage matches, 3 to 6 December, round of 16. We can see the dates there. I mean, what amazes me, and I just wanted to touch on this. I mean, I'm obviously follow Leicester. You obviously follow Liverpool, as you can see from your top. But the Premier League restarts on the 26th of December for the Premier League clubs. But for the likes of the Championship clubs, their season restarts. I think we might even still be at the quarterfinal stage. Now, I don't think that's particularly fair.
I believe that is the case. I think it's the Championship, League One and League Two. I think they all begin again on, I think it's that weekend. I think the 9th and 10th of December. Look, obviously, I know that there's obviously a lot of fixture clashes as well. We obviously, I think the Champions League's very early this year. That it's in September. So
we're not worried about that. We're not. That's one thing we'd have to worry about Europe this season. But thank you for
maybe being a season out of Europe might help Leicester.
I think it will, to be honest with you, especially if we make no signings. But no, I just think it's wrong. I mean, League One and League Two, I would kind of get, because you're not really going to get many international players playing at that sort of level. But when you look at some of the African clubs, and certainly when you look at the likes of Wales, they've got players in that will have or be sourced from Championship clubs. So they're being asked to, I suppose Wales is the obvious one, but they're being asked to start their season while half the players are possibly still away, in the Middle East.
I know. Whoever thought of that deserves to be sacked. I'm sorry. There is no common sense of that at all.
Well, when did football and common sense ever go together? Yeah,
very true. Hello, James.
Good evening. How the devil are you? He's about half dead in this heat. Well, you see, this is it. You see, in Merseyside, that big yellow thing in the sky, James, is called the sun. In case you're wondering what it was, because when I lived up on the northwest, I didn't see it that often. I'll tell you, he's going to kill me. And these are the winners this century: Brazil, Italy, Spain, Germany, France. Which, when you look at it, it's a bit like we were talking Scottish football before we kicked off. But at the start of the season, you pretty much know it's going to be Rangers and Celtic 1 and 2, or 2 and 1, whichever way it works out. There, you could have predicted those 5 teams winning it, couldn't you?
You could easily do it, yes. But I think the thing is that looking at that, a European country's won the last 5 World Cups. So you'd have to say that one of the Europeans will probably be favourites for sure, but we shall see. We shall see.
We shall indeed. We shall indeed. And this is how many titles everybody has won since it was introduced. Brazil, obviously top, and ourselves joint bottom with Spain. But I can't see Scotland on there. Can you, Doug? No, I'm looking, but I can't see them. Maybe they're on.
It's all banter at the end of the day. But I do know from memory that Uruguay won the first ever World Cup in 1930,
yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah. And before you say anything, no, I wasn't there. That was going. I've missed this Scottish banter while you've been away. It's not me. maybe they're not on there because they're on Delamitri's plane home, possibly. Sorry. I promise no more for a couple of minutes. So we're going to be looking at Group G because they're all finished now. We've had all the playoffs, etc. I'm going to be looking at Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. So let us go into here. So Group G, that we say. And there we go, just to confirm Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. So we're going to start, obviously, with Brazil. And let's have a look at Brazil, Doug. Number one in the FIFA ranking. Obviously, South America region. Qualified back in November by being top four in their group. They've appeared in every single World Cup there's been. And, of course, they've won it 5 times. And as we saw, the last one, 2002, got to be one of the favourites again, haven't they?
100%. Every time I've watched this Brazil side recently, they really look like the real deal. I mean, the majority of their players obviously play in, Europe as well.
Yeah.
But one thing I think has to be said as well is that this is a big World Cup for Neymar. I think he has to step up because everybody said that the best thing to come out of Brazil since Pele was Neymar. Well, I'm not so sure about that, but Ronaldo did it in 2002. He stepped up to the plate. We all remember in 1998 when he was very badly injured. I think it was the semi-finals.
Yes.
And he did play in the final, unfortunately, and didn't do very, very well. So I think Brazil this time around, I think the fact that they know that they've not won it in 20 years, I think they're one of the favourites for me.
Yeah. A lot of people say that, it's going to benefit the South Americans, maybe the African teams, because it's so hot. But as you said, most of them are used to playing in European type weather, which it's the same as sort of most of the England team.
I mean, we've got a fair few Brazilians at Liverpool. Obviously, Alisson, Fabinho, Roberto Firmino as well. So I am very, very looking forward to seeing what this Brazil team can do. And you know what? The fact that they've actually been drawn with Serbia yet again and Switzerland, they always seem to get those two in World Cup groups. I always remember whenever you see Brazil, they always seem to have Switzerland or Serbia in their World Cup groups, and it's happened again.
Yes, yeah. It's strange to think, when you said it just then, and it hit me. It's like when you say 20 years since Brazil have won it. It's like, I can't, it doesn't seem real that, But you did say about Neymar stepping up. Sorry, I mean Messi, he's got to this World Cup as well because it's his. Well, certainly, I don't know about Neymar, but it's certainly going to be Messi's last one, surely.
Yeah, I would think if you look at the players that are actually at the World Cup, and obviously I know we'll do obviously Portugal next week, but Ronaldo, he needs a big World Cup for Portugal because it'll probably be his last one. Yes, I think this will be Messi's last World Cup as well. Neymar is still at that stage where he's not quite in the prime yet, but I do think he will have to step up. I think he's shown glimpses. He has shown glimpses of what he can do at World Cups, but not quite had the finished. He's not quite the finished article yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at this World Cup.
And it must have, the funny thing is, and I suppose this is because of the generations of the players, but as I'm looking at it here, when they've done well, Brazil, it's been in clumps. So sort of 1958 to 1976, apart from 66, they never came below fourth place and won it 3 times. 1994 to 2016, they've always made at least the quarterfinals. They've been champions twice and fourth place once. So, yeah. Once they start, you're thinking, "Oh God, that's going to be another 3 or 4 years that they're going to be doing well." But
I know, definitely. And I think the one thing as well that everybody remembers the 7-1 defeat to Germany.
That was going to be my very next question. That is scary. Were you reading my notes or something? That was
no, not at all.
I was going to say, which finals was that?
It was in Brazil, funnily enough, 2014.
It was. Of course, it was. Yes, yeah. So that's the last. That's not the last one. The one before.
Russia. I think Russia was 2018.
Yes,
was the very last one. But
yeah.
It's quite scary to actually remember a Brazil side looking so poor, but that Germany side just destroyed Brazil then. So I think this Brazil team is much better. Defensively, they're much sounder. Midfield is going to be very, very key as well. And I think up front they look very, very good. Probably right up there to be probably one of the favourites for me.
Yeah. I think Big Phil was in charge of them when they got beat 7-1, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yes, I think he was.
And I mean, it keeps popping up every now and again. As I say, those of people that sort of follow me and know me know that I've got the attention span of a goldfish. So I do like YouTube, which gives you like quick 10-minute lot of clips of history and past events and what have you. And I do enjoy watching Brazil 1, Germany 7. I'm not gonna lie, just to see the Brazilians crying. It does make me feel a little bit better. And I know it's horrible, but I do. But I think we introduced this while you were away. I don't think we did this before when you were here, Doug. But we have a look at 90minute.com. Bit tongue in cheek, as you will see as we go through it, but they give their lowdown on the 32 teams and where they think sort of each one could possibly come. So with Brazil, they have got them as possibly finishing third. Their strength is it's in Brazil's DNA to win this competition. Weakness, the possibility of Neymar attending a birthday party during the knockout stage. I love this one. This is why I love this. Richarlison is a good player, but it is funny that the most decorated team in international football starts an Everton player up front. Sorry, James, that's not me. I never said that, James. That was 90minute.com. Complain to them. But anyway, the Selekov will have one of the strongest cores possible, and that should help free their attackers to do their thing. You say I can't see them not being in the semi-finals at minimum.
I would agree with you. I would absolutely agree with you. And potentially Argentina-Brazil semi-final.
Yes, could. Well, that would be interesting. Yeah,
that would be amazing to watch.
Yeah. They always are, and it's like in England-Germany, isn't it? Really. James says, I get why people say Brazil are the favourites, but I cannot ignore the likes of Germany and France who are in for a shout. They are. They certainly are. France, I think France are holders, are they not?
They certainly are.
Yeah. So let's have a look at Serbia. Now, as you said, they do like playing Brazil in the World Cup, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They certainly do.
Excuse me, sorry. I just that was a pint in about 2 seconds ago. It's orange juice, and I've just been diagnosed with diabetes type B. I'm not supposed to drink orange juice because of all things, it's got loads of sugar in, and I'm like, but it's fruit. Yeah. So I am just trying to work my way through what I've got in the fridge, which is a lot. So before I can't throw it away. Anyway, let's have a look at Serbia, shall we? We'll see what their information is. 25th in the world ranking at FIFA. Obviously, Europe qualified again back in November by coming first in Group A. 4 of 22 appearances they've been in the World Cup. Obviously, never won it. And they obviously were appearing before that, probably when Yugoslavia was whole, if you like. Yeah, you need Gareth Southgate because he can make them whole again.
Hey.
I tell you what, they may not be good, but they are quick. Come on, give me that.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
That wasn't bad. Yeah, your thoughts on Serbia, Doug?
I think you have to give them credit for beating Portugal to first place in their group. I mean, that group was quite interesting anyway. That group actually had Serbia, Portugal, Republic of Ireland in there as well. So for them to come top of that group has to be said, it was very, very impressive. Mitrovic is going to be the main one. I think his goals are going to be very, very important as well. Obviously, they've got Luka Jovic as well. Yeah, I mean, at least I can say that they weren't at the last Euros because Scotland beat them in the final to get there. So at least I can be happy about that. But I have to say, this Serbia side are very, very dangerous on their day. Loads of players that play obviously in Eastern Europe. Milinkovic-Savic, I think, is another one to look out for. The Lazio player has been linked constantly for Manchester United. I think he's been linked constantly with Arsenal as well. So
yeah,
I think they've got a good chance, Serbia. I think it's definitely between them and Switzerland for that second place, in my opinion.
Yes, I wouldn't argue with that. I'm just actually looking. Funny you should mention that because before, like I did say, before there were Serbia, they were part of the Yugoslavia, basically. And if you go back to, let me just get it back up here, back to 1998, their kit looks very Scottish.
It does.
Yeah, Yugoslavia always played blue top, white shorts, red socks, which of course Scotland do. But it was a darker blue, and it does look maybe they were Scotland in disguise that season. Yeah, I don't know. they would hope not. I mean, they've not got past the group stages for a while. Just bring it back up here. Yeah. And when that's the Europeans, they've not got a great record in the Europeans either. They group stage last time, didn't qualify the time before that. Group stage in 2010. In 2006, again, group stage, but then it was Serbia and Montenegro.
Yeah.
And then the round of 16 before that, when it was the former Republic of Yugoslavia or Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, whatever it was called. Maybe one day they'll decide on what name they want to call themselves. But
that's true. That's very true.
That is, at least they're not a blood limp. At least they haven't got two names anymore. They managed to dump that. Imagine getting that on your shirts. It'll cost you a fortune. So let's see what 90minute.com have to say. They've got them as 14th. Serbia, strength, Mitro's on fire. Weakness, football's played on land. And then to the tune of Gala's Freed from Desire, which I don't know what it is, you've got all the Nars there. I don't know if you've any idea what that is, Doug, because I don't.
Not a clue.
I thought maybe it was a youngster's song, and maybe that's why I didn't realise it, because after my time, if you like. But anyway, it must make sense to the guy that wrote it.
Yeah, it actually sounds like the what's his name? There was a Northern Irish player. Was it Will Grigg?
Oh, that was the on fire bit. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the same song. Mitro's on fire. Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. I will. To be honest with you, I kept thinking, right, I'll check this before we go live, and I never got round to it. So you can avoid. At least you don't have to put up with me singing it. Switzerland. Now they always seem to be there, but then they always seem to disappear, don't they?
You've hit that really well in the head there. They always seem to scrape through to the round of 16 or last eight. Always happens with like European the Euros as well. Always seem to do it as well. I think the Switzerland side is a very, very up and coming young team. I think they might do well.
I'm just having a look. Well, let's have a look what their details are. 14th ranked in the world, so they're not, not to be taken lightly, in fairness to them. Obviously from Europe, qualified back in November as first in Group C again. And they've been to sort of over half the World Cups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never having won it, of course.
No, definitely not winning it. But as you say, they're always there or thereabouts, and I think they could well be there or thereabouts again. They're actually a very, very good side to play against, Switzerland. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. A lot of good young players coming through the Switzerland ranks for sure.
Anybody we should be looking out for?
Brio Mbolo.
Right.
Who has he was at Borussia Mönchengladbach, but now he has moved to somewhere in France, and I'm thinking it's maybe Monaco. I could be completely wrong about that, but Mbolo, good move for him because it's I say it's a good move for him. But yeah, he's one to look out for. Obviously, Jordan Shaqiri is another one to watch out for as well. He's a cracking wee player. Is Shaqiri. Jan Sommer, the goalkeeper for Switzerland, to look out for as well. So I think they'll do all right. And as I said earlier, I do think it is between them and Serbia for the second place. Yeah,
as James says there, Switzerland are also an improving team. Anthony pops in as he always does with yourself, but you don't have to. You don't have to. We'll move on. They didn't actually qualify for a World Cup until 1996. That was their first. And then we had group stage, round of 16, quarterfinals. So in 2020, they actually got to the quarterfinals. So, yeah, I mean, how far do you see them going in this one? If they manage to get through the group, like you say, obviously.
If they manage to get through, well, I think it all depends who comes second and who comes first in the Portugal Uruguay group. I would say. Yes. I think it will all determine them. But
be tough, though,
I think round of 16 is probably the furthest that they can get. I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, can I just say, before I bring you on to what 90minute.com have had to say, this isn't me, this is 90minute.com. They've got them as 16th, and their strength, their flag is a big plus.
Hey!
Even I groaned. And it says, then weakness, you're not getting a weakness until you laugh at my joke. Switzerland are ranked 16th because they're the most round of 16 team ever, which is basically what we were both saying,
Yeah.
But I don't know why I still laugh at that joke, because every World Cup or every football game that Sweden's in, that joke gets peddled out. Not the time by me, I won't deny it, but there we go. Okay, so the last one, as we come up to it, is Cameroon. Now, I mean, we can all remember Roger Miller, can't we?
No, well, from YouTube, definitely for me. I was a little bit too young to watch Roger Miller, unfortunately.
For God's sake, here we go. I feel old. Oh, thank you, Doug. Come back, Dan. Roger Miller and the dancing with the flag. Are they making the numbers up in this group, do you think?
It's a tricky one with Cameroon. I mean, they had a very good AFCON. I remember watching them at AFCON, and obviously they were the hosts, of course. They were the hosts of AFCON, and I have to say that I was very impressed watching them.
I think they got to third in the AFCON.
My only thing about worrying for them is their goalkeeping position.
Right.
Onana wasn't great at the AFCON. I thought he was very, very flappy when coming for crossed balls as well. But obviously they've got some very good players. Obviously Anguissa, who I think's now left Fulham, if my memory serves me correctly. So that's an interesting one. The one to watch out for, and I'm glad I'm pronouncing this, Vincent Abubakar. Ex Porto.
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah, ex Porto. He's a very good striker. He was very good at the AFCON as well. Also, look out for Toko Ekambi as well, who was very, very impressive at the AFCON as well.
Indeed. I mean, they actually qualified for the 1957 and 1959 World Cups, although they were part of France at the time. Then they were not affiliated. They don't enter. Their first World Cup was 1970 when they got through to the group stage, and then 1970. Oh no, I'm looking at the African Cup of Nations there. I thought, what's that? Every 2 years for a World Cup? They've not brought that in yet. Sorry, 1962. 1982 was their first one where they were at the group stage. In Spain, 1990 they got through to the quarterfinals, and I think that was the Roger Miller finals because they gave England a scare, and we got through from a couple of Gary Lineker penalties. Then it's been the group stage since. To be honest with you, didn't qualify the last ones in Russia. Let's see what the FIFA have to say about them. So 37th in the world from Africa, qualified 29th of March, which I do have to remind people, if you did want to sort of, make a note of it in your diary, it is my birthday. So a great day for them to qualify on. 29th of March, it's my birthday. Just make a note of that. They came through the playoffs, and they've been in 8 of the 22 finals. Again, not to be taken lightly, because like I say, they did come third in the AFCON, and as you said, they had a good one.
Yeah, definitely, and I think they will prove a very, very tough opponent for sure. But the only thing for me that really, really worries me, it's not the midfield, it's not the attack, it's the goalkeeper and the defence.
Yeah.
I don't think. Like it's Rigobert Song who's the manager now. You'll remember him.
Yes.
Remember him, Liverpool player, of course, many, many years ago. So that's one thing to watch out for, is who they decide to play in goal and who they decide to play in defence. But midfield and attack could be very, very interesting. I think they're going to have to probably score more to not concede more, if you get what I mean. I think they're going to have to score more goals to win games. I don't think they're the best defensively. No,
it's the Ozzy Ardiles type of football, isn't it? When he was at again, you won't remember when he was at Tottenham. You're too bloody young, but when he was at Tottenham, he had like 8 strikers on the books, and his way of playing was, well, if we concede 4, we'll score 5. And that was why they never won anything when he was manager. Anyway, let's see what 90minute.com have got to say. So the strength is Rigobert Song will be in the dugout, as you said there. Weakness, this makes me laugh. Infamous Tottenham duo, George Kevin Nkodo and Clinton Njai will be on the pitch. Sorry, Tottenham fans, if anybody are watching. And they do say, do you reckon Samuel Eto'o fancies coming after retirement for a few weeks?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't. But I don't. I can say it's hard to write them off when they, come third in AFCON, and all the African nations let's face it, that are here have done well in AFCON, but they've got a lot of players that play in Europe, and they are developing nations.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Very much so. Samuel Eto'o, just incidentally, is the president of the Cameroon FA.
Is he? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he could come out of retirement then.
Maybe.
You never
Maybe.
know. See his name on the team sheet, we'll panic. But right, those are the 4 teams that are in Group G. It's now that time when we ask you to say who's going to go through and who's not. You've sprung a few surprises, in this, starting with Group A when you said Senegal will go through ahead of Netherlands.
Yeah, I'm standing by it.
Wow. Not that, these are help here for everybody to see and come back to you. Mind you, I think if Scotland are in there, I think you'd have put Scotland top, wouldn't you? But they're not, for some strange reason. No. And they certainly won't be on the plane coming home early because they've all been cancelled, the planes, haven't they? Group B, you very kindly put England on top and Wales coming in second. I can't see the USA going Iran going anywhere, but I think USA might be a surprise package in that one.
They might be. The only reason I put USA third is I think that they'll probably focus on the next World Cup because obviously that'll be the one that they're hosting.
They're hosting, yes, yeah. And then in Group C, you went for Argentina, which I can't argue with you there. I think with a lot of these, in fairness, with the second and third, as with the women's Euros, it could go either way, couldn't it? I mean, that's
definitely
how tight. But we both said, I think at the time, that we like Mexico. They always seem to go, well, a bit like we were just talking about, seem to sort of go so far and then stop, if you like Switzerland. Never quite get to the semis or anything. But that was Group C that you predicted. And then you said Denmark would get above France. Again, another surprise that you pulled out there. Although I think that one was coming maybe from a drunken roads.
No, it's just the champions' curse that's going to be over their heads. And the last time that they actually won the World Cup in 1998, they actually failed to qualify out of the group stage in 2002. So, but I think this France side are too strong, and I do think that it's definitely between them and Denmark. I think Denmark. Tunisia is an interesting one. I think they might slip up against Tunisia, but I'd expect them to beat Australia.
Yes, yeah. I mean, like with that one, I'd say the 1 and 2 could be either way, but 3 and 4 definitely out. And then we went on to Group E, which I'd love this to be upside down this table, but I don't think it is. I think they've had their blips that they have every now and again, but Germany, first, Spain second, Japan third, Costa Rica fourth. I don't think I could argue with you on that one.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I am looking forward to the next one because I have had a lot of stick for this one.
Yes, I'm not surprised. I think I can't remember the exact words Dan said. Uzo, I think, was part of that. Again, the fact that you were abroad, and maybe the heat had got to you. And I think that they were two of the more polite ones. Belgium top, Canada second. Oh my God, Morocco third, but it was Croatia fourth. It's the second and the fourth, I think, that sort of threw us all out. But you got to explain that one now. Then you went for it. You got to explain it.
I just have a very, very funny feeling that Canada are going to absolutely shock everyone. I've got a really, really funny feeling that they might. I think they can beat Morocco, and I do think Croatia are one of those. They are an improving side. They are quite a young a young side coming up, and they've got a few experienced heads in their team as well. But no, just something about Canada, young side, very very hungry, very very determined. I've just got a feeling that we might see an upset there.
Whatever you've had, I'll have a couple of pints of it, please. But let us have a look now then at Group G. We'll just get the page up. Now, I think I know where you're going to go with this one. I think you're going to go Brazil top. Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. Brazil will win this group.
Yeah. Now, I fancy Switzerland to be second, but I think you're going to go Serbia.
No, I'm going to go Switzerland.
You're going to go Switzerland. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go Switzerland. Okay. I just have a feeling that it's that same thing as we've been saying, that they always seem to make it through the round of 16. So yeah, I'm going to go Switzerland again.
And I then presume that Serbia third.
Serbia third, and then Cameroon fourth.
Yeah, and I think that is. I mean that's the way I would have put it, to be honest with you. I did think you were going to go Serbia, but yeah, like you say, Switzerland always just seem to get through, even if it's on sort of goal difference.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think the one thing we've seen with this World Cup, and especially obviously next week, that group next week is a group of death. That group next week is so difficult to predict. That.
Yes. I mean, Ghana, did they not win? Did they win AFCON?
No, it was Senegal that won AFCON. But Ghana didn't have a very good AFCON. But the thing was, Ghana knocked out Nigeria to get to the World Cup. So there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Right. So this is going to be interesting. This time next week, guys, put it in your diaries. Let me just get rid of these now. I want to leave this with it at the end. Last week, if you saw it on the news, and I know you did because we spoke about it, Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini somehow not being found guilty of, bunging, taking bribes, basically, to put it allegedly. Yeah. They've been found not guilty. I've no idea how that happened, but if they say that the reason that it's actually gone to Qatar is not because that they got lots of brown envelopes with lots of money in it, again allegedly, but the fact that they want to develop football in countries, where and make the game, available all over the world, etc. So if that's the case, why do we have countries like Brazil, America, Mexico, Germany, France that have all hosted it more than once?
Yeah, that's a very very good point. A very very good point. I don't understand how those two got away with murder, basically. Well, not murder, but obviously they got away. They got away with it. They got away with it. Yes. I mean, if anybody said that Qatar wasn't corrupt, that the World Cup given to Qatar was not corrupt, then I'm sorry, but you're living in cloud cuckoo land. But I like what they're trying to do, develop, obviously football into these countries. But I am very much looking forward to the next World Cup, because that's obviously in USA, Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah,
and I do think that will be a very good World Cup, and especially that one will be in the summer as well.
Yeah, I just I get that with Japan and South Korea, and when we went to South Africa, and I think I've told you this, but when I went there a few years ago, I did a tour of Johannesburg. They'd got the brand new stadium that they had built for the World Cup final, which had been empty since, because they didn't have any use for it, and it wasn't being used. It was covered in weeds, and literally next to it, you had the townships, with all the little corrugated iron buildings next to each other. So, this sort of, it's going to bring things to the country is faults as well. And I think with Qatar, they've built all these stadium at the cost of I don't know how many lives, and will they be used afterwards? But as I say, you've got to applaud the fact that they're spreading the word of football. But then, Mexico, they had it. Well, let's have a look at Mexico. I think this is the second. This might be the third time Mexico have had it. They had it in 1970. They had it in 1986, and they've got it next season or be. And I get why it's multi-country now, because obviously the cost of hosting these events is so massive. That I do, if you're not going to go to an oil state, it does make sense, I guess. But they 3 times it's been in Mexico. Now, if you want to sort of spread it around, I'm sure there's other, countries in that area that could probably host it. I mean, Brazil, have hosted it 2. Oh, they've only hosted it twice. I thought they'd hosted it 3 times. They've hosted it twice. Argentina have done it a couple of times as well. Well, what about Bolivia? What about Peru? It doesn't, because it's going to be South America, it doesn't have to be those countries. And that's what gets me. And as you can see, it's a little rant that I have every now and again. Where you've got to question maybe the ethics of FIFA. Although I would agree. According to a Swiss court, nothing to question. Doug, thank you very much, young man. Nice to have you back. If only to appreciate my jokes. I will see you again at 7:45.
I certainly will. Yes, I'm looking forward to watching some women's Euros for the first time with you.
Yeah, stay online because I just want to have a quick word with you about it. But thanks very much. I'll see you then. Just remind people, I say it is in the description below on YouTube, but just remind people where they can find you.
Yeah, my YouTube is the Dugout Football channel. My Twitter handle is Arnold_1992. Instagram is Douglas.Horn, and I'm also on Facebook at Douglas James Horn.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. See you in a bit. Take care.
See you in a bit. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Oops, and there I am, split across 2 screens. There we go. Let me, it does improve my looks though, let's be honest. Thanks to Doug. We will be back at 7:45 for the the last group games, Group D, to decide who will meet France in the next round. Oh, sorry, who France and another will meet in the next round. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do. It is much appreciated. My figures are all gone a little bit funny, so I don't know what's been happening with them. But if you've unsubscribed, please consider subscribing back again. It does help. Click the like button on the video. It does help the algorithms from YouTube. I will, as I say, be back at 7:45 with the Scottish gentleman that was with us there, Doug. Make sure you check out his channels as well. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening if you have been doing it on the podcast. Thank you if you've been in the chat as well. It's a hot one. It's a hot one. Let's hope it cools down for later. We will see you then. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
Cool. I'm out of here. Ooh, that's a wrap.
Some people are on the pitch.